The sand wedge, and Padraig Harrington now going to run it up that slope.
You wouldn't think with lift clean in place that he'd putt it. You know, he could have hit it perfect lie for a pitch.
Plus, there's dew on the ground he's got to putt through, so I would have liked pitching it better.
He'll probably make it.
Yeah, it's the only problem when you run the ball up the slope like that. You're thinking, I got to get it a little bit harder, and now he's got a tricky little thing coming back down the hill. Well, it was a nice strike. The ball just scooted right along, but there's the dew, Roger, you were talking about. Kicking up some water. Let's go to 10.
And this is the third difficult position for Luke Donald.
Look at that stance he's using. He's unbelievable around the greens. Look at this shot.
Donald still trying to bounce back after that third round 74, and he has been bouncing back. 2 under in this final round. Have that for a great save, and back to the leader.
All right, Roger, this is for a 3-shot lead.
I'd call it just over 10 feet, and there's not much break in this putt. Might go a fraction right, but very little turn if he hits it firmly.
Fairly close to the same putt Mickelson had. He missed it left, and Poulter missed it to the right. Still, he seems to be in good form.
He usually makes those.
Well, he was in great form yesterday, Jake, before this tee shot at the 5th. Again, a lack of concentration, Johnny, here from 174.
Yeah, that was just a first-class shank. One bounce off the cart path into the lake.
That ended up a double bogey for Poulter, and then his tee shot at the very next hole, par 4 6th.
As Paul's saying, I think I'll go in this lake over here.
So he doubles the 5th. He ends up bogeying the 6th. All of a sudden, he's reeling. Patrick Reed, in fact, has the lead at this point. And then his tee shot at the 7th.
Yeah, nobody had birdied this hole all day, and he's eyeing it for good reason.
And that is how he says good night to the Sunday play, with a birdie at the 7th to get it back to 7 under, and then comes back this morning with another one at the 8th. So Poulter bouncing back after dropping those 3 shots in a span of the 2 holes. He went from 3 ahead to 1 behind to 1 ahead to now 2 ahead.
Well, back at 9 now, this is a situation that always seems to happen. You've got a putt to jump ahead even further, but you give it a little too much, and now you've got a little bit more left for your par than you expected, Roger.
Yeah, you got 3.5 feet left, so nothing to be relaxed about.
Inside right.
So Poulter leaves the 9th, 8 under and 2 clear. Over to 11.
The always dangerous shot over the water at 11. Mickelson from 170.
You can see that back right hole location right in front of his cap. And good shot, but spins back onto the edge.
Back to the 10th. See if Luke Donald can finish off a sensational par save.
Just left edge.
Former champion in this event when it was across the street at Mirasol. Also has won on our Florida swing. Won the Valspar in a playoff just a couple years ago. This week on tour, we head down to Trump's Place. World Golf Championship, top 50 in the world committed to that one. You see the coverage times there for that and the Puerto Rico Open and the Web.com event in Colombia. So that is this week on tour as we head down to Miami for the 2nd leg of our Florida swing. Go to the Bear Trap for the 1st leg of the
Robert Allenby on the tee, Dan. +6. George McNeil did make his par. So it's a lot easier without either 30-mile-an-hour downwind or into your face. So it's a little different play.
All right, so as the leader, Ian Poulter, steps to the tee at the par 4 10th. This driving hole technology presented by TaylorMade. And Johnny, is that the right shot shape for Poltz?
It's the right shot shape to play. I'm not sure he's going to do it, but this is a tough tee shot, and if you miss the fairway, there's trees right in play and left. It's one of the hardest holes in the course, top 4 hardest holes. This is number 11. That flare rider is a good. He seems to like it.
I think it's going to be okay. It's up to right a little bit, but I think with the helping wind, that should be fine on that line.
Oh, that's excellent. Very nice. Cut the corner. That was an aggressive line.
Thank you.
A lot of torque right there he develops in that turn, and then the left hip starts first. That's the key, folks. Not the shoulders. It's got to be that left hip. That's where the power is. And look at the high follow through. And you can see the high right shoulder, and look at the determination. He wants to win a medal play event in the U.S. on the PGA Tour for the first time.
He's a deceivingly pretty big guy. You see him in person. He's 6'2" at least. Yeah. Here's Steele up at the 10th. So Brendan Steele, after reeling off all pars on the front, drops a shot at the 10th to fall to 3 under. Here's Mickelson over at 11 for birdie.
Not exactly what he had in mind with the second shot from the fairway, 35 feet up the hill. Going to tend to break toward the back right corner of the green to his right.
He was in need of one to drop about now.
A little surprised on the second shot on 10 that he couldn't see where the ball went. He had to ask Bones. I don't know if his vision's going little or what.
Back on the tee at 10. Reed going to play that big draw.
All right.
And nope, this one gets away to the right.
Don't hurt anybody.
Ooh.
Asking it not to hurt anybody. It's just down the rope, and it looks to be in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, as long as there's no trees there in front of him.
Over to 12.
And Paul Casey playing out of the right-hand rough. Noda?
Gary, big mistake. Took 3-wood. Tried to play to the fat part of the fairway. Missed it. Now has a terrible lie. 7-iron from this deep rough.
Powered out of there.
And this is well short, just right at the right bunker.
Surprised he didn't go left and just take the long putt from the left side.
I would agree, John. That a very aggressive play from Casey there. Very aggressive play from Ian Poulter. In control right now in the Honda Classic by 2.
Ian Poulter in charge at the Honda Classic with a 2-shot lead as he heads to this back 9. Focus in a little bit more on Ian Poulter in our latest Pacific Life summary. Johnny just alluded to it. He's never won a PGA Tour stroke play event in the United States. Of course, won the match play championship back in 2010. 16 professional wins have come in 13 different countries. Talk about a world traveler and winner. And he's seeking his 3rd PGA Tour win overall. Won that match play in 2010, and then he won the 2012 WGC HSBC Champions, an official victory without unofficial money, but Poulter looking to add to his resume in the States. Berger's at 14. And he is deep.
That go long?
Wrong club.
He's currently in solo 4th as we go over to Harrington at the 10th, Raj.
Yeah, from the intermediate cut, good angle on the left-hand side, 210. A little breeze helping. This left of the hole, John, toward the center of the green.
That's a good shot from the rough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
William Poulter is a prolific tweeter, and one of the images that he tweeted out prior to this Honda Classic was the back of his white Ferrari, as they call it in England, a car trunk, a car boot. So this was the Poulter stash. Look at all the shoes lined up, Johnny. He's got his bag neatly packed in that sports car, one of his many luxurious sports cars. It's about a 2.5-hour drive, maybe a little less, from Orlando to here. In that Ferrari, maybe about a half-hour drive.
There's only white shoes in the white Ferrari. If it was the red Ferrari he owns, it would be red shoes in the back.
I guess. It is a color-coordinated world in Poulter's world. You can be sure. He is a style and clothes horse.
And a car nut, like me, for that matter.
You might have a few more high revved up sports cars than you do, Johnny.
Well, he's right in the middle of his earning power. I just got NBC.
Oh, man, whoa. What does that mean?
It's from 191.
Okay, aboard another green. Up ahead to 12.
And Phil Mickelson on the tee. Not an easy driving hole here. Mark bunkers right and left.
It is not, Gary, and he has to give himself some birdie chances coming in.
And that's turning too much. And that's going to catch the right fairway bunker. And up the green, Paul Casey playing his third shot. Noda?
He's got a nice lie, but it is on the upslope. Going to be difficult to get this all the way back to the hole.
And unfortunately for Casey, weakest part of his game, he's gotten the ball up and down only 31% of the time. So far this year, out of the sand. Good shot there.
Nice little thump.
Just what you're looking for, John. That means you've used the bounce of the club. Over at 10.
And what's the target line here for the sweeper right to left, Johnny?
Well, he is aiming right in that.
Oh, look at the gallery. Look at the gallery back up. They're like, are you coming over this?
He used to hook the ball.
Okay, gets it in front.
That's a good shot.
Not often you see a PGA professional back the gallery out like Patrick Reed did. He's tied for second, 2 back of Poulter. Beautiful Monday at the Honda, and our Golf Channel and NBC crew proud to bring you our first leg of the Florida Swing. A little late on the delivery of it, but should be entertaining down the stretch. Casey trying to become or stay in part of the drama down the stretch.
And his par putt at the 12th. Okay. Good sand save there after a poor tee shot. Casey remains 2 back.
All right, so Patrick Reed in front of the green here at the 10th, Raj.
Yeah, hole cut in the rear of the green, just on top of a little plateau, trying to play something low to get it skidding and running up there.
Kind of like that.
Nicely played.
So Reed is hanging in.
You know, Patrick is really good, folks, when he's hitting half the fairways and he's in second place. That reminds me of Tiger somebody.
14, Berger for par. Daniel Berger also hanging in there 4 back as he heads to the first leg of the bear trap. Back to the par 4 10th, where the familiar waddle of Padraig Harrington lining up his putt for birdie.
A lengthy one here that'll come through a bit of a valley, and then certainly the last half of the putt, maybe just less than that, back uphill. Boy, this is a club he just lost all confidence with yesterday afternoon, Johnny.
Yeah, it's just he's trying to make that comeback and seal it with a win, and it's tough. You know, beautiful putting stroke though when it's on, big long backstroke.
Got to go.
Not bad though. Par here is a good score.
Seems like a long time ago when Harrington had that first 36-hole lead in 5 years, but that was the case, and he had his eyes on picking up another win, but it has slipped away. He's 5 back. This was Mickelson at 12.
Yeah, fairway bunker right under the lip, so could do no more than just pitch the ball out down the fairway. Back at 11.
This is the third for Brendan Steele, who's at 3 under. Drove it in trouble, pitched it to this point.
Easy shot, that little flat swing, and there it is. Come back right now.
Oh, it does. No problem. It's going to be tap-in par for Steele to stay at 3 under, and there he is at the trap.
Over here at the 15th, Daniel Berger. Boy, he's hanging in there. Young man just from up the road. Plays at the Dye Preserve. Got all his family and friends out here walking and pulling for him this week.
You believe he's -4 on the bear trap this week? No bogeys.
Nothing seems to affect this guy.
I mean, that's good golf. -4. Gee, I could say, hey, Jack Nicklaus.
To 10.
Ian Poulter eyeing a birdie.
Not a hard putt, really. Just got to get it there. Doesn't break much.
Coming back to the left a bit.
I think he thought it was going to break left, but it was straight.
He'll stay at 8 under, and we'll go to 12.
And watch Mickelson play his third shot here at the par 4.
127 yards, Gary, not what he needs for a third shot on a par 4 at this stage.
I've heard him yell at his shots more than I've ever heard before, Mark. When he hits a bad one, he'll make a sort of a loud comment. I've never seen him do that.
Well, I truly believe he expected to come out here and play better than this morning.
So Mickelson left with a lengthy putt for a par there at the 12th. You can see out of sync, trying to get the motion right. But it's not happening right at the moment for Phil. It is happening for Ian Poulter. 2-shot lead in the Honda Classic.
The leader Poulter on the tee at the tricky 11th.
455 straightaway hole. Got to deal with the lake on the second shot.
First things first, get it in the fairway, and Poulter has done that perfectly. Up ahead on the green, Russell Knox for birdie. Playing well again for the second straight year at PGA National. Part of that 4-man playoff. Birdie for him gets him back to 4 under. 1 under on this final round. Just 4 back. And back to Mickelson.
And his lengthy putt for par here at 12.
Gary, a lot of people out here, but it's eerily quiet. He needs to do something to get them going, to get him going.
Hit a good putt. Thought it had a chance. And there's what you're talking about, Johnny. Quite a bit of reaction, and you have to wonder at his age now, how many more opportunities is he going to have to win tournaments as we go back to 11.
Time for second 2 back. Reed needs to get this tee game a little bit better under control, Johnny.
Yeah, he just has to keep that right elbow in and not, flip it out at impact and hit that pull hook.
No problem there. Fairways this round, Reed has hit less than half, 4 of 9. Over to Casey.
He's missed another fairway to the right at 13, just like he did back at 12, Noda.
Mediocre lie, but I think he can get enough club head on it to get it to the right center of the green. He's going right after it.
Great shot there. You're at such a big disadvantage if you miss fairways. It's so difficult to pull the correct lie and be able to get it close to the hole, but Paul did a wonderful job there. Now, up at 15, Daniel Berger. This to get him to 5 under and just 3 back. Is it possible? He's already had a couple of top 10s early in his career, Phoenix and Pebble Beach, so pretty impressive stuff.
Following our broadcast, you can log on to PGAtour.com for the Winners Live post-round press conference. Who's that winner going to be? Catch all the comments and insights from the champion exclusively on PGAtour.com. out to the 9th.
This is Joost Luiten putting for birdie, finishing his round, finishing the tournament. Again, kind of what we saw Harrington do, putting off the fringe. Banged it pretty good. Tied for 9th right now at 2 under. Another one of the European stars that we're seeing emerging on the world stage. To 12.
Where we find Jim Herman with a chance for a birdie here. This to reach 3 under par. And Dan, what a good story here. With his status on the tour this year, he was not in the field as of the Friday commitment deadline for the Honda Classic. Actually teed off in the Monday qualifier. And on the 4th hole, they came out and told him that Scott Verplank had withdrawn, and he was in the field. So taking advantage of a great opportunity.
Yeah, he was in, he was out, he was in.
And he didn't finish that qualifying round, which, no surprise. He walked right in, came over here, registered, and played a practice round.
And he'll have, again, full support from the owner of the course we're heading down to this week, Donald Trump. Of course, was a part of that story as well. He was an assistant pro at Trump National in New Jersey when Trump gave him some support, encouragement.
It's one of the 3 hardest holes on the golf course, really. 6 can be number 1. This one could be number 1. 10 can be number 1 through the years. But down green lie.
That's a look at Harrington's ball, Roger.
Well, out here where the gallery has walked, so all trampled down, so he's got a pretty clean lie. 207 to the hole, wind down and left to right.
Be easy to miss this left and down that little hollow down there, wouldn't it, Raj? Because
a quarter of the people, as you can see, hit the green from the left rough where Padraig is.
Well, if you're going to miss the green, John, that would be your pick, to miss it left.
Yeah, you can't go in
short right doesn't work.
Well, he's gotten real good at playing out of the rough because he'd been in there a lot the last 4 years.
#297th ranked player in the world coming into this week. We talked about it earlier. James Hahn won from that position at Riviera last week.
Shaping it left to right. Moving it right of the hole. Boy, that's a gutsy shot there. That's a heck of a play.
So don't put Harrington in that 25%.
Back at 9, this is Luiten to save par. Finish at 2 under. Good weekend for Joost Luiten, 67-69. 29-year-old from the Netherlands.
Poulter in great position here.
From 190 yards, this is right, going right, water bound.
Oh, wow. Again, a big mistake by Poulter.
That is crazy when you have a 2-shot lead to even think about going right. Not that he was trying to hit it there, but let's take a look at this again. Let's see what he's doing. Looks pretty good right there. A lot of knee action there. Watch the lead. Too long of a lead. Can't catch up. He had that handle so deep in there before he released it. That shaft angle was ahead of it, and that pushes the ball out to the right.
Just when you think he's going to leave everybody in his Ferrari fumes, he does that.
That's right.
Opportunity here from 179. This just right of the hole.
So time for Reed and time for Casey to pounce.
And this could be for the lead if Poulter makes double. Paul Casey, pretty simple putt there. Oh, and never hit it. Never hit it. So things changing on the leaderboard. Paul Casey with his par at 13.
Just got all these guys that want to win so badly, Dan, that they just, it might be a bit of a interesting finish, let's put it that way.
I know, every time, even off camera commercials, we've talked about Poulter winning this thing. You just have not been convinced, because I get the feeling you think it means so much to Poulter. He wants this so much to happen here And we're, down the street is the headquarters of the PGA of America, where he's been a nemesis of them and all those Ryder Cups for years. You don't think that is crossed his mind? You better believe it has, right?
Well, the thing is about this leaderboard, every guy needs a win except for maybe Patrick Reed, so he's probably going to end up waltzing in. Everybody else is just going to crumble.
Yes, from 154. Johnny, like I've always said, this is an easy game until you care.
Let's see, that's a key
and
shot.
It's really hard.
That's an important shot right here.
Shot there. Oh, it's spinning back.
Let's see if he can make another tough bogey like he did at number 6 after he shanked it on 5.
But he's facing perhaps double bogey in the face. Donaldson over at 14, looking to move it to 3 under.
Yeah.
And yes, 3 under. Not out of it, especially if Poulter brings it down to 6 under as the lead. He's got a bogey putt coming up at 11. Don't go anywhere, folks, in case you're sneaking a peek on Golf Channel in your Monday morning workday. Jeff Overton for birdie at 14, trying to become a part of the story while we were away.
A little short jabby stroke gets the job done.
Overton moving up the board a bit. And back at 11, can Patrick Reed take advantage? Casey advantage as Poulter has a bogey putt coming up. Career balls in the water at PGA National in the first 11 rounds, 6 total. He's got 3 in this final round alone.
Yeah, it's like 3 turnovers in football. You don't usually win.
Yeah, you think a guy can win this tournament with 3 balls in the water?
Yeah, he could. Let's see, Patrick Reed, he's thinking, well, if you're going to give it away, I guess I'll take it.
Now, Reed's been the king of opportunity. And here's Casey over at the tee at 14.
Can he hit a fairway with this 3-wood? Tough hole. Second hardest.
And he's been living out of the rough lately.
I guess it is a driver, sorry.
Oh, he's watching this anxiously.
Can't find the fairway, Noda.
It's all pressure, things start happening.
Well, the pressure will be ratcheted up when the contenders get to this point, Jake.
Yeah. Jamie Donaldson now. Pretty easy shot here. A lot of water, very little green, small target, but no wind. So we've seen quite a few good shots here at 15. Nothing that close to 11.
And Padraig Harrington, after that beautiful shot from the left rough, this will be some 3. Wow! Padraig Harrington with a birdie from the left rough, and he moves to 4 under, and he is still not out of it.
Nope, he isn't. He's had all the pressure off him, just chasing right now.
Over at the 12th, Luke Donald, lengthy putt for a birdie 3. Chance to talk to his caddy, John McLaren, early in the week, said Luke is getting back to playing Luke Donald golf, and that means making putts. So that moves Luke to 3 under. So we go back to 11.
Huge putt for bogey for Poulter.
Not a hard putt. Not much break.
Nope. It was offline all the time. Kind of a little bit of a push.
Always right edge or more.
So a double bogey for Poulter, his second double of this final round, and now we've got a 3-way tie for the lead. Reed and Casey back up there, and we'll see if Poulter can bounce back from this latest mess at 11. Wow. Up at 12.
Brendan Steele has this putt for a par. His second shot went just through the green. Tried to putt through the fringe. Came up well short. All right, good save. He remains at 3 under.
I mentioned that all the top-ranked 50 players in the world have committed to the WGC Cadillac Championship, including Rory McIlroy, who did miss the cut at this Honda Classic. But he's headed down the road to Miami for the WGC. You see the times at Golf Channel will crank up the coverage, and then we'll have the coverage for you on the weekend on NBC. So 3-way tie for the lead. Reed, Poulter, Casey at the Honda Classic. Harrington, Berger, and Knox just 2 back. And Harrington is on the tee at 12.
And we've seen not an easy driving hole here, Raj. Awkward angle to the dog leg with the bunkers down the right-hand side.
And the view of the fairway kind of obscured by those bunkers on the right-hand side. So you just feel like this is when you try to fit the ball on the fairway. You don't really feel like you can get up and just swing away. You got to really kind of play the correct shot, get the right shot shape.
Starts up the left side. Looks like it's peeling a little right. Yeah, that's good. And we move up to the par 4 16th. Daniel Berger, second shot. Mark Rolfing has hustled over to this group.
Beautiful tee shot by Daniel. Hole location way on the right today at 16.
Yeah, he likes to move the ball left to right. Good fit. And a beautiful shot right over the flagstick. And back at 12. Got to be a tough driving hole for Patrick Reed if he wants to play his draw. There's that hard hook. That's going to miss left. That has been his nemesis, Johnny.
Yeah, it has, but the green opens up a little from over there.
It does. If it didn't go too far, he should have some sort of opening. And Raj Poulter was asked about this Champions Course earlier in the week, and his comment was, we've seen through the years that 1 or 2 loose shots on a stretch of holes, and you can fall out of contention in a hurry. That certainly was the case there at 11, costing the lead. Let's see what he can do.
And this starts down the left, not really cutting. Might need a kick, right?
Yeah, hit softly, it's fine. All right, we're going to move over to the 14th hole, and we'll take a look here at this hole location. Now, yes, it's daunting. It's in the right back corner of the green, but the good news for the players is the slope wants to work the ball down toward the green off this ridge. So really, a player can play right into this area and have a chance to get the ball close to the hole, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case for Paul Casey here, Noda.
No, just taking a very conservative, pitched out almost 90 degrees sideways, going to try and make par with his third shot.
Bad break.
Casey at 6 under, trying to stay there with Poulter and Reed. Big developments lately again for Ian Poulter, this time going the wrong way. Double at 11 as he found the water. What's left down the stretch for Poulter at the Honda Classic?
On the 15th green, Jamie Donaldson has this putt to get to 4 under and just 2 back. Could he team the bear trap and post a good score? Back to 14.
Paul Casey from a good spot in the fairway finally.
He's got 157 yards left. 150 takes that bunker out of play. Playing it at the center, trying to work it back toward the hole.
That's what Gary was alluding to earlier at the 14th, kind of playing it off that ridge, and a brand new design for 14, huh, Johnny?
Yeah, definitely. You can see the difference of how close the water is now on 14. The whole location is much closer to the water. You can see this year, whole location today is back in this area right here, and you see the big fall off here where everybody used to go into this bunker, and then the OB was much closer over there before, and Jack was concerned about that.
It was the 6th toughest last year before the green design, second most difficult hole this week, so it's always been a tough hole, even tougher with that redesign. Back to 12.
And Patrick Reed playing out of the left rough, kind of been a common theme, Raj. Patrick Reed from the rough off the tee. Yes,
certainly had a stretch there yesterday. 2 2, 3, and 4 where they were really pronounced in bad hooks. Now this one just on the left rough, but the rough here very wet. In this area is still a lot of dew there, so this is probably going to sound something like hitting a ball with a wet mop right now. 191 left to the hole.
Does he ever hit any good straight shots, Raj, or is it always some kind of draw?
Well, at times, Johnny, but I don't know that they're expected.
Okay.
Get some! Get some!
Yeah, let's just right of the hole.
And then we go up to 16. Daniel Berger for yet another birdie.
Looks good.
Is it going to turn? Back at the 12th, Poulter ready with his second.
Yeah, this is from 188.
How will he respond?
And this is a solid strike and just left of the hole.
Yeah, gets a forward bounce and beautifully positioned. So he responded well late yesterday after a couple of hiccups. We'll see what happens today.
And this is just earlier. Luke Donald on the tee. Now watch this. This ball is left of left.
Wow.
Out of bounds. And it hits the roof of one of those homes, and it ricocheted back into the fairway to this spot right here. So he's way back, but he's got a good look at this one from 157. Can he take advantage?
That's the worst tee shot I've ever seen on that hole. I think it was up on the shingles.
To 12.
Harrington, second shot on the way.
Yes, from 171 and hanging well right of the hole.
Harrington unable to take advantage of a good tee shot there at the 12th. Ian Poulter comes up with a brilliant second shot, and he'll have a putt for a birdie and a chance to regain the lead when we come back.
Paul Casey tied for the lead, trying to stay there. Needs this par to go down at 14.
It was just a little right. Yeah. Oh, come on. It's flattened out at the hole.
So 2 bogeys in the last 4 holes for Casey. A different kind of tail on his final round on this Monday as opposed to yesterday. +2.
Over at 13, can Luke Donald take advantage of this great break off the tee shot? Nope. Still, he's going to make a par 4. He looked like he was going to make double or worse when that ball left his club face off the drive.
All right, we're going to take a look at 17, the hole location in the front left. And obviously, you don't want to come up short. You don't want to come up long into the bunker here. So most of the players that I have seen, Johnny, are playing more into this position. So a tee shot that gets into here. And from that position, well, it leaves a nice little right to left breaking putt. We have seen 6 birdies here, but we've also seen 3 balls in the water. And how about the way this young 21-year-old has played the bear trap? -4 for the week. Big tee shot here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Gary, to see him be a little aggressive here. This is just a 7-iron. I think this wind is actually going to help. It's a little into their face, but just very light.
He likes to work the ball from left to right. Look for it right of the hole.
This one is a mile in the air, just left of the hole.
Whoa, what a shot. Daniel Berger. Young man, Dan, who played in my collegiate event that I host in Tampa at Old Memorial Golf Club there, played for the FSU Seminoles.
All the great ones go through your tournament, Gary.
Actually, they won that year. Brooks Koepka was on the team as well. As we go back to the 12th, Patrick Reed, lengthy putt from the front edge.
Leaves a little more than he wanted.
Over at 13.
This is Brendan Steele just a moment ago for his birdie, transitioning from a belly putter back to the conventional short putter. Said the first time he did it, he went out and shot 62, so he knew it was for him. Now live, Russell Knox for birdie. Opportunity missed there. That was to get to 5 under.
Yeah, just 2 out of it, though.
All these guys are in it. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't got to the bear trap, so in 18, things can happen.
All All right, back at 12. Harrington, a lengthy putt for a birdie. This looks pretty good. Oh, Harrington moves it to 5 under par.
Talk about being in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's been all over the place, but hanging around. Even Padraig likes this one.
Can you imagine if Padraig Harrington ends up winning this thing? That would be one of the craziest tales in a long time on this tour.
All right, and Poulter with a chance to grab the outright lead back, Raj.
I think this has got to go just a little bit to his right. Another great comeback after a double bogey.
No,
it didn't go right, did it?
No, well, it looked like it was a little left off the blade. So we go back over to 15.
Paul Casey on the tee, and here at the 15th, the first PGA Tour professional to make a hole-in-one during the Honda Classic will win the 2015 Honda Accord CR-V. You see right behind him. I'm not sure if it's that car, but I know Paul would take it should he jar this. We've had a couple of shots pretty close, but is this the one?
I still think it's this. Far too much. Let this pass, you know? Let's see you fly.
Peter, they're debating between the 5 and the 6 because the wind has picked up just a touch here to where it has to be a little bit of a factor in calculating final distance. Start at the right center. Stay in there.
Good shot there. Back to 12.
Patrick Reed for par. Another good, solid save for Patrick Reed. He's at 6 under, and he and Ian Poulter tied atop the leaderboard with Harrington and Casey just one back. Daniel Berger with a birdie putt at the 17th to get to 5 under when we come back.
Patrick Reed, the co-leader on the tee at 13 with a driver. Padraig Harrington has already driven in the fairway.
And a big sweeping hook.
Yeah, it's a narrow little target down there, about 24 yards wide to 16.
Jeff Overton, lengthy putt for a birdie. Off the upper level, down the slope. Picking up some speed. That's a nervous length. We'll go back to the 13th.
Ian Poulter now with the driver. Short par 4, just 386 yards, and it doesn't require a driver. You could play this thing with a hybrid and a 9-iron, but he's now in trouble there. Boy, such a solid golf swing. John, you talked about that left hip turning out of the way, coming down, head just a little bit back, and that's going to cause a quick rollover with the club through the impact zone, and that's going to cause that draw or that slight hook, which put him in the fairway bunker. Up ahead at 15, Paul Casey now. This for a share of the lead, Noda.
The beautifully executed 6-iron, just hole high, tiny bit of right to left break.
So many guys have a chance to win, and so many want to win, as you pointed out, John.
Yes, sir.
To 14.
Mickelson for birdie to get it to 3 under. Needs this and a little magic down the stretch, and who knows?
This doesn't have it right now. Pretty disappointing for him. He probably saw a big green light chance today.
Absolutely. Back over to 17.
Yeah, where Daniel Berger has a putt to get to 5 under par. And Johnny, you see it often. I mentioned he was a teammate of Brooks Koepka there at FSU for just a year, and Koepka just won on the PGA Tour a few weeks ago. And it's often you see that college teammates. You see one of your teammates win, and you go, well, geez, there's no reason why I can't do that. I remember back in my day, it was myself and Andy North and Andy Bean, and one guy would win, and it was amazing how often one of his teammates would come along and win not long after that.
Yeah, because you say, hey, I can beat that guy.
I play with these guys all the time. Sure. Yeah. All right, Mark, important putt here. He has not missed from inside of 10 feet today.
Looked to me like he had a little trouble reading it. I think it's pretty straight, Gary.
Just over 8 feet. Hang in there. Yes. Daniel Berger to 5 under par, and he certainly has the length, Johnny, to reach the 18th in 2.
Talk about these amazing stories, Gary. None would be more amazing than if Berger can come back from 9 off the lead in the final round of Ian Poulter to win. You're looking at the largest final round comebacks at just the Honda Classic. Harrington 7 back, put it away in 2005. He's in contention here. In PGA Tour history, only one player has come from further behind 9 going into the final round to win. That was Paul Lawrie, remember, at the British Open, 10 back. Berger would match the second largest comeback
amazing
ever.
Birdie's 18 for 64 today.
Oh, man.
Paul Casey at 15 now for his par 3. And he stays 1 back. And we've got a lot of guys that have a chance entering into the bear trap. Daniel Berger is playing 18. He's through the bear trap. And back at 13, Patrick Reed. Just a wedge to the 13th.
Perfect hole location for his draw. This has got to be close.
Good angle, Roger.
Yeah, 129. This is a shot, pretty level golf course, pretty flat. This is a little uphill and a little into the breeze. You got on a great line. Great line.
An unlucky break there, pulling that back away from the hole. This is really one of the last birdie holes until you get to 18. Take a look at both of his feet flat on the ground.
Even all the way.
That right foot stays down all the way through. That's going to ensure a good turn and a good release with your arms. Harrington now.
128. That's a pretty good looking shot just left of the hole.
Really good shot. Controlled the spin nicely there.
Who's going to win, Jake?
One of these guys. Well, it looks like Poulter got a break. That ball is in the middle of this bunker. No problem, Roger?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. 121 left to the hole, but you don't want to get this just a freckle fat, or that front deep bunker will call your name.
And it'll bury.
I've been a freckle fat my whole life.
Yeah, contact sounded good. Pretty good looking shot, too.
How about that, folks?
Now that is a bad break right there. He almost jars it. Pulls it back to about 15 feet, and he's talking to himself.
Just when we thought we'd seen it all today, huh?
Look at this. Watch this flag.
Wow. And look at that. I tell you, hitting that flagstick, that added more spin.
It would have sucked back, but not that much.
Deep thoughts. I don't know what's going through his mind, but he's got to be happy with that fairway bunker shot. Got a good chance for birdie. Phil Mickelson has reached the bear trap on the tee at 15.
Phil, baby. Come on. Sit on it. Sit.
It's a beauty. Mickelson just 2 under and 4 back, but you never know. Back at 13, Patrick Reed for birdie and the outright lead. Over to 16.
And the par putt for Jeff Overton to remain at 3 under. Okay, safely in. Back to 13.
Well, Ian Poulter, after almost holing his second shot, Roger, pretty impressive stuff. We've seen some great golf, and then we've seen some bad golf from Poulter in this final round.
Yeah, I think the important thing is that we've seen way more good golf than bad golf. He has made a few bad swings, and they've been disastrous, the ones he's made. But he's hit any number of good shots in these last couple of days.
The shank at 5 yesterday. Made double bogey, the tee shot in the water at 6, and then the birdie at 7 and 8, and then the water ball at 11, and this to go back into the lead by 1.
Up the hill, a putt to be aggressive with.
And it's slow. A lot of players leaving this short. Boy, it looked like he was going to make it 2.
Daniel Berger is, sort of dodging some bullets. If he birdies 18, that was the last great chance to birdie for this final group. And if he can dodge these 3 putts, it's in good shape.
And yesterday it looked like Padraig Harrington was absolutely lost on the greens. Go back to yesterday's portion of the final round. That was his par miss at the 4th, so he fell to 5 under. And then a couple of holes later, that was a bogey miss, so he drops 3 shots in 3 holes. At that point, he's 4 off the lead, and early in this day's play, he was 5 behind Poulter before consecutive birdies at 11 and 12 have him 1 back. Now he's got this to tie for the lead.
To be a good PGA Tour professional, you have to have short-term memory loss. Put that out of your mind and knock this in.
Get in. Go.
Like that. So Padraig Harrington joins Patrick Reed and Ian Poulter at the top, tied at 6 under.
Talk about turning the clock back. Country Club at Mirasol hosted this event across the street for 4 years. Back in 2005, Harrington began the day 7 shots off the lead after he opened with a front 930. Holed the birdie at 17, his 11th of the day to get to 14 under. Final round 63. Good enough to join Vijay Singh and Joe Ogilvy in a 3-man playoff. Ogilvy was eliminated, and Harrington would make the par putt, and Singh would miss his par attempt from short range, and Harrington with his first of 5 PGA Tour victories, 3 of which are majors, which included back-to-back British Opens in 07 and 08 and that PGA in 08, and here he is again back. We go to 17 now.
It's Jeff Overton on the tee. Loves to work the ball right to left with a 6-iron, asking for it to go a little. When it does, that's in their perfect position. Little right to left breaking putt. So Overton with a chance to get to 4 under.
We did. Nearly 690. That's what I mean. It's now I did take a strong flight in it. I went with a hell of a strong flight. I think I've got to cut this one. To me, if you bring it down on that single marshal, just to the right, the other 2. Put it into there. I mean, look at this American flag up here behind us. Up there.
Right, whole location back right, talking about trying to play some sort of little cut shot, which is a little dangerous if you happen to overcut it.
Gary, he had a beautiful left to right shot into the 7th hole yesterday. Just visualize that same shot. He's got a 5-iron. So certainly doesn't have to get all of this, just can hit a nice soft cut. Nice looking shot, just left of the hole.
Very well done. Leaves an uphill putt from there. Up at 18.
And Daniel Berger can reach here from 245. Johnny, you think a birdie here is an excellent chance to maybe win and maybe get in at 6 under. You're part of a playoff, huh?
Yeah, I think it's looking more like a playoff, but it could be an outright win. And this is a pressure shot. Let's see if he knows it right now. Let's see if he can come through. Watch the top of his backswing, how wide it is. Amazing.
Biggest swing of his career right here, Johnny. It is high toward the center of the green.
And walking after it like he likes it, and Berger is into the heart of the green with an eagle try upcoming.
That is not a fluke player right there, folks. You can hear a lot from him. He could be the next young star.
Just 21 years old, beginning the final round 9 back. Historic comeback it would be to 14, and Poulter part of that 3-way tie for the lead at 6 under.
Dogleg left par 4, both Harrington and Patrick Reed already in the fairway with their tee shots. And this is going right, way right.
Man.
And that's splashed in the water so far right, Roger. Unbelievable.
That is so far offline. Just totally got discombobulated coming down, all jammed up.
Let's go to Mickelson.
Well, is it Mickelson's time? Can he still hang in, knock this in, get to 3 under?
It's time to rev up the jet is what it is.
Wow, he's just hit a lot of putts right over the edge of these cups.
At 14, Russell Knox trying to get within 1 of the lead.
Boy, that looks good.
Oh, he cannot believe it didn't drop. Whew, we need to take a breath here. Ian Poulter needs to take a breath as well. 7 players within 2 shots of the lead, including Berger, who's 1 back, who will have an eagle putt to get to 7 under. After finding water off the tee in the hazard at 14, Poulter now going over his options with a drop. His 4th ball in the water in this final round. In the meantime, we head back to the tee at 15.
Brendan Steele, just 2 back.
Right there. Right there.
No. Oh. And that ball is tough lie there. Feet will be way above the ball. The 17.
Jeff Overton to get to 4 under. Will it turn? No, it will not. Mystified look on Jeff's face. Back at 15.
Russell Knox, after almost making birdie back there at 14. He lost in a playoff here last year when Russell Henley won.
It's a shockingly boring hole location.
It is.
I mean, I cannot believe that hole location is right there.
Well, here is Daniel Berger looking over this eagle putt. He does have athletic genes in the family. His father, Jay, former professional tennis player, has served as the director of the men's tennis at the USTA since 2008. In fact, his dad played professionally for 5 years and reached the round of 16 at the 1985 U.S. Open tennis tournament. And here is his son on the verge of what could be one of those unbelievable comebacks from 9 behind Poulter to begin this final round. He did have some great credentials in college. First team All-American at Florida State, turned pro after his sophomore year. He was the individual runner-up to the NCAA champion Max Homa that year. So the guy could play in college, but here he is in his 12th PGA Tour event with a putt for eagle. 2-putt birdie will give him a tie for the lead and the number at 6 under.
Mark, you right there. It looked like to me, I was out there this morning, in the first half straight, and then the last half just moves a little right.
I think so, which is, I think, a perfect line for him because he has a left to right shot shape. And I have seen no sign of any accelerated heart rate. He has just played almost perfect golf the last 3 holes.
Biggest putt of his life right here. He hit a good one. He overread it. It was really just a left edge putt, I think.
And all of his putts, Johnny, have just been great speed. If they're offline just barely. This is going to be a 2-putt birdie for Berger to post 6 under. And there is your leader in the clubhouse.
64. Look at that.
64 for Berger. Matches the round of the championship with Brooks Koepka and Ian Poulter. And you can hear he's got a lot of fans in his gallery. Lives right here in the area in Jupiter, Florida. Daniel Berger, welcome to the Honda Classic. 16.
Casey with a chance to get to 6 under and share the lead. That's going to move right. Never quite high enough. Back over to 14.
All the pines, right? Pine straws, just as long as you don't get to the sand and the dirt. That's right. But I mean, all the pine straws, loose impediments. That's correct.
Well, I believe that Ian Poulter put a ball in play under penalty after driving it into the lateral water hazard. They'd be playing 3. There is a crane ahead, camera crane up ahead on the right that I think they might have been determining to be in his line of sight. So now moving the ball from there. But I have not heard that definitively. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I believe is going on.
Getting all those pine straw thinned out before he drops it. Is that it?
Yes, it's a loose impediment. He can clear those from the area before he drops the ball over there. So using your head, the right move to make.
You better be careful that where he drops it doesn't bounce over in the thick part that he's not thrown over very far. You know, by his toe, you see how he's thrown a lot of it right there.
In the meantime, all this delay has brought Harrington, who's got 3 birdies in a row, and Patrick Reed, who's also tied for the lead, to an absolute standstill.
Before you start dropping, go ahead. Just say no. If it goes forward on this tee right here, we'll re-drop. Just say no ahead. Go ahead, okay?
Now he's moving that stuff, so taking forever, but obviously very important. 4 balls in the water by the leader. Wow.
Back to that in a moment. In the meantime, back to Knox.
Straight up this green to that hole location. This to get to 5 under. It looks good. Oh, just lost it right. So a par 3 for Russell.
So Poulter's ball now in play. Getting ready to hit his 3rd at this par 4 14th.
If you can get it from that ball.
And now has 217 yards to the hole with that hole cut over the bunker on the back right.
There's Harrington, who's just being iced over there after being red hot with 3 straight birdies.
He better get his game going. He might run out of golf balls today.
Well, Johnny, these guys were a little out of position to start with, falling behind, and this isn't helping matters.
Four tied for the lead at 6 under. Poulter seemingly about ready to drop out of that 4-way tie.
You wouldn't want to wipe it right, I can tell you that, like he did at 11.
I'd be surprised if he aims one over to the right side on this hole, John.
Might not aim it, but
you never know.
Oh, hit the palm.
That was like kicked straight right into the water.
Was that a half shank?
Well, I'm off to the side, John. I couldn't tell, but hit the palm tree, went straight wide into the water. So
that's 5
he won't
balls.
He won't be able to advance the ball very far. From where Johnny, he drops next.
You mentioned turnovers earlier, and as you watch Poulter hit his 5th ball into the water. Remember the NFC Championship game? The Seahawks had 5 turnovers, trailed Green Bay late in the game. They ended up winning that game, but Poulter with 5, as you called them, turnovers here in this final round is just not going to be able to get out of this predicament.
You know, it's funny because I saw that lie, how tight it was, and when you have a tight lie, it's easy to squeeze it right.
That is Harrington's ball in the air as he has waited a long time to hit this 2nd shot, and a beauty into 14, a chance for 4 in a row for Harrington.
And that's coming off that slope that Gary Koch drew. He used the slope to his advantage, so looks like Poulter might be toast.
Let's go to 17.
Paul Casey, important tee shot here. Did have the luxury of seeing Daniel Summerhays play before him and hit a pretty good shot.
Just feels like it's a little strong right now, Clark.
Gary, he's pulled the 7-iron, and I think he's got to get everything out of it. This wind picked up a tiny bit.
Strong flights. Just another one.
All right, David Clark confirming it's plenty of club. Paul's caddy.
He can hit any shot he wants. He can cut it or draw it.
This starts at the center of the green.
Said he hit it as good as he could. It's well played. Hole high. About 25 feet away. We go back to 14.
And while Casey was hitting, this was Patrick Reed's second from 174.
Hasn't played well if you just tuned in, but he's hanging in there.
Tied for the lead and using that slope a little bit, not as much, but he'll have a birdie crack at it. So Harrington and Reed both 6 under, and Poulter looking over his next set of options. This will be the 5th shot for Poulter, and you could say it's finally come all undone with the 5th ball in the water.
Really has been a remarkable round, hasn't it, Johnny? I mean, he's hit so many quality shots, and then the bad ones are just awful.
Yeah, I just saw that tight lie that he had, and it's so easy on a tight lie to squeeze a push, and that's just what happened. And yeah, he's going to make a big number here if he doesn't watch out. It's going to take a lot of time. They were already behind.
Still got 185.
I know. It's just. And what about that little palm in front of him? That's, he can cut it around that, right?
He can, yeah.
Be easy to bail left after going right.
Oh, he hit another palm frond there right in front of him, didn't he? And that one doesn't get to the green. So he's there in the bunker in 5.
Man, he is just having a nightmare round. Nightmare.
About the best he can do there is a triple to get it there in 7 shots. Just when you think it couldn't get any worse for Poulter, he's got a buried lie with his 6th shot.
Just chunk and run. Terrible lie. Just terrible lie. It came out straight left.
Well, it's going to try to use that ridge.
Yeah, it's trickling.
So he's got that for a triple.
Look at the lead there on the handle. Wow. Look at that shaft really bend and recoil and rebend again. That's very nice camera work. Look at how much sand he got out of that bunker.
17.
Paul Casey with a chance to get to 6 under and into that log jam at the top of the leaderboard.
And Gary, his iron play in the final round has been stellar. Distance control great, working it both left to right, and he's got another good look here.
This one from just over 21 feet.
Playing a big break.
It'll move left, John.
Yeah, he's playing way out there. Just not enough.
All right, back at 16. Phil Mickelson has a lengthy putt for a par here. Very poor first putt from the front of the green. Raced it some 8 or 9 feet by. And Mickelson all the way back to 1 under par. Back at 14.
And Ian Poulter has this putt for a triple bogey. 7.
When you lose 5 balls, you'd like to cover up, but he sure hit a lot of good shots for how bad the bad ones were. Like you said, Roger, just amazing. I've never seen a guy go from sweet to sour on different shots.
From Poulter to Poltergeist.
That's right.
Well, to his credit, he is trying on every one of them, John.
Yeah, he's slow, and Harrington is slow.
This has taken a year to play this 14th hole for these guys. Oh. So he drops that in for triple. So you can add that to the 2 doubles and the bogey that he's already made in this final round. So he goes from 6 under to 3 under. Now he's 3 back as he gets to head of the bear trap. So he's got 5 balls in the water, and he hasn't even played the bear trap.
Amazing putt, though. Really, most guys, when they're putting for a triple, their brain has gone to mush.
And so here's Padraig Reed, who we've already known at the Hyundai Tournament of Champions has that kind of knack for snatching the victory away.
It's not a hard putt. You just saw he was a titch to the right. There it is.
Padraig Reed drops in another one. He's the man for the occasion. He's proved it, looking for his 5th victory before the age of 25. He's got the lead by 1. And he's got his red and black traditional outfit on. And he's alluded to it, in fact, earlier when he won the Hyundai in that other Monday finish, that he's used to playing well on Monday. He used to qualify on Mondays just to get into tournaments. And now Harrington to match him at the 700 number.
Be the 4th 1 putt in a row if he makes it. Yep.
4 in a row for Harrington.
Harrington is on fire.
So they separate themselves from Berger, who's the clubhouse leader after that final round 64. Take another breath here. Take a look at our Pacific Live summary. Take a look at this final group and how they have played the bear trap as they head to 15 this week. You can see Reed there has made up for some mistakes at 15 and 17 with his play at the 16th. Harrington has been the best of them all. 3 under total. No problem at all. And Poulter's been a little up and down, but even through the trap, which has just not been that gnarly today, especially.
What a strange turn of events we've seen here in this final round yesterday afternoon and already this morning, especially with Poulter. Harrington missing some putts yesterday, coming back now with 4 in a row, regaining the touch. And Padraig Reed, this guy is tough. What do you think, John? Is Padraig Reed the new young American star?
Well, he's definitely looking good. You know, this is a bit of a gift-wrapped situation for him with what other guys have done. But Padraig might have something to say about it. But those are 2 nice birdies, weren't they, on the tough 14th hole?
Yeah, I think that new green at 14 that Jack has built, that's tough. The other green was pretty easy, kind of benign, but this one, well, right there looks tough.
Yeah, the 14th hole, the hole is cut sort of in that funnel, so it's easy to, if you hit a good iron, it's going to be fairly close. And then 15, I've never seen this whole location. It's the easiest about on the green.
Well, the only problem that you have here, if you bail left and put it in that green side bunker, there's really very little chance to get it up and down. We saw Brendan Steele hit it over there, and he almost hit it in the water. Couldn't get the club underneath. So this is a just lace your shoes type shot. Take it right at the flag and hit a good one.
I mean, Padraig plays at a glacial pace. I mean, he hasn't even got the tee in the ball in the ground. It's been 3 minutes.
So maybe he wasn't held up by Poulter at 14.
What do you think? Okay, I think so. Yeah. I think the other would be pushing it. Okay, happy with this. You know, I think I could hit the 6 there.
No, I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
He's got 5 iron out currently. And he's talking about trying to hit a 6 in a draw.
Just get in more room there, guys. That's okay. Shadows.
And this has got to be a cut up against the wind, coming a little bit from the right, mostly against. This guy's a real lesson in never giving up, isn't he, fellas?
Yeah, he's always been that way in his career, Rod. Just seems to me that he's a battler. He just never gives up and fights on.
Ultimate optimist, Jake.
Daddy. Come on.
This is just left of the hole. A pretty looking shot.
That's the best we've seen this morning. Well, he said he found something in his game about 6 months ago, and he's been riding it. And he's very confident coming in.
Found something overnight, too. The play had finished yesterday. I don't think we would see this from Padraig. His confidence was lost yesterday on the golf course. Now Reed's got a 6-iron.
Good hole location for his draw.
He starts it out right, but it's hanging right.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Wow. He knows it. It's hanging right.
And boys, that's something new on the early resume of Patrick Reed, who has not shown signs of cracking when tournaments have been on the line, and it's there for the taking. New territory for him to overcome right now. Now Donaldson for birdie at 18 to get in at 4 under. And a fine finish for Jamie Donaldson. 3 birdies in the last 5 holes, including the ones at 17 and 18. Final round 66.
Nice check for him.
Back to 15.
Well, Patrick Reed's ball in the water was just the 3rd in this final round. It goes to show you how benign that hole location is, John. Now Poulter, he's already been in the water enough this final round. He's maybe running out of golf balls. I don't know.
Well, he's got a 5-iron too, and let's see if he can bounce back yet again.
Time, Ian.
Well, just left of the hole. Pretty shot. A little shy of the hole.
Yeah, it's about 35 feet, but it's dry. Well, Patrick Reed, this is an uncharacteristic shot from this young man, as tough as he has been down the stretch in his young PGA Tour career. Just hung that to the right. And look at Padraig Harrington. See this in slow-mo. Good coil to the top. Looked to me like he drug the handle through a little bit too much. You see that right arm, he always tries to really release it hard through the ball, but he just hung it a bit. And that's the danger when you're trying to play a draw out over the water back to that green. Let's go to 18.
All right, Paul Casey at 5 under, 2 back. He's going to give this one a go from 276.
And Johnny, I like this play. He feels like he's got enough power. It is a bit on the aggressive side. There isn't hardly any margin for error. If he mishits this at all, it could come up well short in that water.
You need to hit that high power burger cut, right?
I don't think a cut would get there, Johnny. I think he's just got to give this the full-on release and try and hit a straight ball at the center of the green.
Yeah, this is a mentality of going for a win. It's going way left.
It's a double cross, I think.
Back to 15.
This is Patrick Reed now from the drop zone, 118 yards.
Get in there.
Needs to make an up and in.
Oh, he
Got to get up a little.
Oh,
He's not going to be happy with that. He's got that putt now for his bogey. To 16.
Luke Donald has this putt for a birdie to reach 4 under. Man who won this Honda Classic back in 2006. Well, this looks good. Luke Donald to 4 under with 2 holes to play, looking for his 4th consecutive top 10 finish here at the Champion Course at the PGA National Resort and Spa. Well, Padraig Harrington with a birdie putt at 15 when we come back.
Well, when we all gathered in the early morning here at PGA National, little did we know what we were about to witness. Ian Poulter looked to be in clear control. 3-shot lead to start the final round. up the lead today, and then balls started flying on the water off sticks, and Poulter is now out of it. Harrington working on a streak of 4 birdies in a row. Casey trying to hang in there. Patrick Reed just found the water at the first leg of the bear trap. Anything can happen on this Monday now at PGA National. Will it be Harrington's day? Daniel Berger in the clubhouse at 6 under on a wild Monday finish at PGA National. Is Harrington in line for his first PGA Tour victory in 7 years? There was the bogey and the double bogey yesterday in the portion of the final round, and then boom, 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 boom. 4 birdies in a row has given Harrington share of the lead officially, but Reed's going to fall out of it because he hit his ball in the water, and now the action at 15, Jake.
Poulter has already putted from 50 feet and missed. Still has a putt left for his par, and now Patrick Reed for an all-important bogey 4. Right in the heart. So it'll be a double for Patrick. Drop him back to 5 under. Now Harrington has a great chance to jump to a 2-shot lead. To 17.
And Luke Donald's tee shot here at the par 3. 5-iron. That's left. That is way left. That's the same swing he made off the 13th tee, Johnny.
Yeah.
Golly, that ball's 20 yards left of the target.
Just scared, I guess.
Yeah, not good. Back at 15.
Yeah, this Roger for 5 in a row for Harrington.
Yeah, little break to the right in it, I believe. But what a stretch.
No reason to miss this either, is there? Except for nerves.
Other than the moment, yeah. It's not a hard putt.
Watch his head, see if he stays with it, down and through. We saw that head turn just at impact to 18.
Nota, what kind of shot is this, the third of Casey?
It's a thick lie, but it's decent. I think he'll be able to gouge something out. And because it's so high, if he can get anything about 8-10 feet on, it'll run back to that hole.
Well, if he can get this up and down for birdie, that would put Casey at a 6 under number, tied with Berger in the clubhouse for the lead.
That's a juicy lie. Got strong arms, though.
Perfect.
Came out very softly. I thought it would chunk and run, but it came out with no forward motion.
So Casey has to hold that to have a chance.
And back at 17, Russell Knox coming off a 3-putt bogey back at 16. Tee shot with a 6-iron. His eyes are looking up and down, Johnny. Usually that means it's on line, and it is.
Good looking swing.
Yeah, wonderful rhythm. Very much a swinger of the club and not a hitter of the ball. Back at 15.
This is Ian Poulter now for his par 3. Stays at 3 under. You just never know, John.
Well, Harrington, birdie streak is over, but a look at how he totaled 4 in a row. That was the first one at the 11th, which got him to 4 under, and then at the 12th.
Long putt here, about 35 feet after that 16-footer.
That one goes down, and all of a sudden Harrington has just one off the lead. Then the second shot at the 386-yard par 4 13th.
Just posing, and for good reason, puts it in there maybe 8 feet.
Made that for 3 in a row.
And a good second and 14 for 15-footer.
You know, we just looked it up. The most birdies that Harrington has made in a row in his career, 6 consecutive, and guess where he made it? At the 2005 Honda Classic, which was played at that point across the street at Mirasol. So Harrington, in final rounds in Honda Classic, has put together 4 in a row and 6 in a row. Final rounds. Nice. That's what makes it obviously even more impressive. And he's got the lead by himself, 1 over the 21-year-old who sits in the clubhouse at 6 under.
And trying to figure out the wind direction as they contemplate the tee shot at 16. And very important to hit the fairway. Bunker down the right, bunker down the left, water down the right as well.
Just doesn't like to hit real quick, obviously.
Nice and still back there now.
There is seemingly an inordinate amount of thought goes into each and every shot.
Watch how he takes that step with the right foot in the practice swing.
Well, trying to make sure he gets the weight off his right side and moves it forward in the forward swing.
It's always a tight shot, this shot. Easy to pull it.
Got it. Got it.
Getting some applause, and that's why down the right side and just in the fairway. So good position there as we go up to 18.
Casey has to hold this for Berger to tie Berger for birdie.
It's just a left edge putt straight the first 6 feet and then moves a titch to the right. Easy to overread it. Did he hit it? Oh, can't leave it short. Come on.
So disappointing par it'll be for Casey at 18.
That is brutal to leave that short.
He played this Monday, Johnny, at +2 after just lighting it up with 4 birdies in the portion of the final round yesterday. So Casey's going to come up short, but still he's on that good line of coming back fully to the game's elite. He's not in the field at Doral, Casey, but a top 4 finish today would likely jump him into the world top 50. So Casey could see him down in Miami this week.
Poulter off the tee at 16. That's got to be headed left. Look out.
Caddy might have said, keep it left. We don't have only got 1 ball left.
That's quite the challenge on these 3 closing holes. All right, Patrick Reed going with long iron.
Which he did yesterday. And again, the way to play it, Gary, in a perfect world is down that right side. That will shorten the hole and get you near the flagstick. Not so much how far you hit it down the fairway.
Let's go, Patty.
Yeah, this one turning left, though. Big sweeping hook. It's going to miss left, I believe.
Well, and that's the problem when you hit an iron. If you miss the fairway, it's going to leave a very long second shot over water for Patrick Reed. But Padraig Harrington positioned nicely in the fairway, holding a 1-shot lead. Can he hang on? Stay with us.
The Honda Classic is brought to you by the Honda Pilot. Start something special. By Pacific Life for insurance, annuities, and investments. Pacific Life. And by the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Make a difference in your game. Out to 17.
And this was just earlier, Dan. Donald, second shot, well left to the green. This is what his caddy, John McLaren, was telling me earlier in the week, that he's getting back to playing Luke Donald golf, working more on his short game and getting that touch back. That's well done. Now Russell Knox, chance to get to 4 under with the par 5 18th left. He was in a playoff in this championship last year, so continues to play extremely well here. Likes this golf course.
A lot of FedEx points and a big check for him with that good finish. Maybe he goes 18. Who knows?
All right, back at 16. Decision time here for Patrick Reed, Roger.
Oh, yeah, 222. Horrible lie. To me, it screams for a layup. Just leave it short of the water. Trying to get it across the water from here, it's got to be a good 175-yard carry, something like that. I think is extremely difficult.
Right, while he looks it over, we'll go ahead to 17. Donald for his par. Oh, wow. First bogey of the round comes at a bad time.
Remember last year, Rory hit it in the water.
Yeah, he did out of the fairway bunker.
And made double. This is, if he's trying to go for it, this is, I think, in response to going in the water on the hole before, making double.
Well, he's changed clubs.
You don't need to compound your errors, though, John.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But I think if he would have parred the last hole, he probably would lay it up and make a hard par. But this has got a great chance to go in the water.
Make it come out.
Well, he said he thinks he can get it to come out of there. Boy, a lot of times, Raj, from this kind of lie, it's a low diver. It just doesn't stay in the air.
I think that little guy on his shoulder is talking to him, John.
Yeah, you're right.
So wait a minute, buddy.
It's like saying, what are you, nuts?
But then the confident guy on the other shoulder that talks to Patrick all the time says, you got this.
I don't like his chances.
Well, this is the tournament for him right here. He got it over. Wow. Raj.
It didn't have to turn out like that at all.
Another look from above. Man, he went at that hard. Actually got the ball to come up and carry. Stayed it in the air for a long time. Helps to have those powerful forearms, doesn't it, Johnny?
It does, and he got a nice sound out of it. It didn't sound muffy when he struck it.
So big shot. And a big shot for Harrington as well.
Yeah, 200 left to the hole for Harrington. Hole over on the right-hand side. It's not a great angle from here. You got to try to put it left of the hole into the center of the green, Gary. If you get it close here, you have taken on a tough shot.
Center of the green, but a little deep.
Not bad, though.
No, not bad at all. Pretty much straight down the hill from there. Should be just a very basic little pitch, or he could probably even putt it if he'd like. Daniel Berger on the range, just taking it easy. Must be nice to be 21 years old, John, and not a care in the world.
Yes, sir.
Here at 16, nice crowds out here for a Monday morning finish. They've had great crowds all week long, especially here at the Bear Trap, 16 and 17. Grandstands have been full. So we go up to 18.
So many players in this final round who have had chances at one time or another. Certainly Mickelson was on that list before things got away a little bit, but finishing up here at 18. Off back-to-back bogeys at 16 and 17 that dropped him all the way back to even. Back to 16.
And the struggles for Ian Poulter continue, Raj.
Yeah, and he has to contend with here that lower bowl on the left-hand side of the green. The upper, higher, deepest part into the green is something he has to factor in. I think he's got to pitch it on top of that, and then it's going to move to his right. Really landed softly.
Yeah, that's nicely played.
Nice play. Yeah.
To 18.
First round leader, which seems like about 2 years ago, Jim Herman finishing up with a birdie Shot that 65 on Thursday and closes with a 1-under round of 69. So a good tournament for Jim Herman with 2 birdies in the last 3 holes. And Bones going through the read with his man Phil Mickelson, trying to finish under par after at one point in this final round getting it to 5 under, but that was before 4 bogeys since. Now make it 5 in this final round after he got it to 5 under. And without a single birdie until nope, not going to happen here either.
Wow, just cold yanked it. It's just a left center putt.
Back to 16.
Patrick Reed's third. Pitch it across the corner of that little slope. And wanders on away, so lengthy putt left for par.
There is the youngster, Daniel Berger. He mentioned his dad, the director of the men's tennis for the USTA. He's actually in Scotland with the Davis Cup matches for the United States. So he's been tracking his son's progress here online on the internet.
He says, I don't know much about my golf swing. I just know it goes far and straight.
That's a pretty nice thing to know that you can do. As we go back to 16 and watch Harrington prepare for his third shot. And you know, we talk about how far he's fallen, Dan, in the world rankings and the struggles he's had. Actually in this week on a sponsor exemption, taking advantage of that opportunity.
Dropped all the way, Gary, to 385th in the world last November. He was once the 3rd-ranked player in the world as recently as 6 years ago.
Yeah, he had the yips with the driver. He couldn't find the world with the tee ball.
And then the short game went haywire, too. Putting just lost it.
He's trying to hit down on this, Gary.
Well, Raj, have you had a chance to look at the lie? Has it nestled down a little bit?
A little bit. He had putter out originally, changed his mind. There's a brow that comes into the green on the backhand side here that's going to kick it to the right pretty quick. So he's really done a very nice job with it. It was an awkward little shot and well played.
Take another look at this. Look how far back in his stance he has the ball, Johnny, back behind his right foot. That's going to ensure that you lead the club head into the ball with the hands and the shaft.
Yeah, make sure you get on the ball before you chunk it. Now it's a chunk and run. That was a cool little shot. Hit down, pop it out, and run it down.
So par putts for the final 3, and I think Patrick Reed is away, Raj?
I think he is. I think he'll be faced with a putt that moves a little to his left. He is, well, he's done a marvelous job of getting the ball up and down and managing his game, because he missed a lot of fairways and put himself in some funny places, and has really worked hard to save par really throughout the tournament. But Jerry, the young man has a lot of confidence. It took a lot of confidence to hit that second shot here, I'll tell you. He doesn't back off.
I've seen players miss to the left with a lack of speed. A little bit like that. That's been the tendency from that part of the green. So that is double bogey at 15 and a bogey at 16 for Patrick Reed. Not what we're used to seeing coming down the stretch from this guy. Just goes to show you, Johnny, no one's immune.
Yeah, those when you have these little disasters, they do haunt you a bit, but he's still very confident. Padraig's got a lot of things going on in his mind, I know. And Ian Poulter, I'm not sure how much he's going to tweet this round, but there's a lot to tweet about.
good save, but he and Poulter started this final 9 holes at 8 under par, and now he's himself just 3 under par for the tournament. All right, Raj, not a lot in this putt, but still nervous time.
Yeah, you just wonder how the memory banks are. I mean, these kind of putts were not simple for him yesterday. He missed a number of short putts, maybe not quite this short, but
definitely had a tendency to kind of come up and out of him, trying to almost guide him into the hole. Missed him right. But the guy's a proven winner, 14 times on the European Tour. 3 major championships. 5 wins over here in the States. It's in the memory banks, Johnny. It's just a matter of whether you can let it out.
He had 43 years old and a long time since the last V. This is a key putt, and the tee shot on the next hole's key.
All right. Safely in. Good up and down. Remains 1 ahead. There's a smile. Yeah. Let's go up and join the guys at 18.
Well, Gary, St. Patrick's Day, a couple of weeks from tomorrow could be a nice early St. Patty's celebration for Padraig Harrington. Johnny, in your wildest imagination, especially after the struggles that Harrington had from short range with the putter yesterday. I mean, he did not look even close to coming back and winning this thing.
You're right. I mean, yesterday would pretty much written him off because he was going the wrong direction, missing short putts. But you talk about a sweet win. Guy at 43 years old. He's gone through the bottom dregs of golf, so to speak, from a 3-time major champion winner to sort of almost embarrassing, and just stuck with it. And if he can hit a good tee shot, make par at 17, he should be able to waltz in and beat Berger by 1.
We shall see. So this is Russell Knox, who has to hold this from 105 yards to have a chance to get to the 600 number.
It's a favorable wind if he wants to hold it.
Coming off birdie at 17. Likes it.
It was looking good in the air. He's like, I needed to make that.
So the man who was in the playoff last year is officially out of it. And we go back to 17.
And we have seen 3 balls in the water. Actually, Mickelson's tee shot was in the hazard, but he was able to play it. So not an easy hole location, that front left, Raj. Man's a very precise shot if you go at the flagstick.
Well, he hit a good one at 15.
Here's the deal. You don't have to go at the flagstick.
I agree. I would think you'd want to be looking 15 or 20 feet right of the hole.
Absolutely. When Jack Nicklaus said yesterday that he didn't take on the flag here, that he tries to get it into the center of the green, that's good enough for me. I think that's a pretty good play.
Well, Jack also said it could be won or lost right here, and for him, this is it.
The accounting mind of Padraig Harrington never really shuts down.
And that's his longtime caddy, Roman Flood. So they've been together for quite some time.
Guys, I've got to get a bit of space there. Thank you. Thanks, Ian. Just watch your sharps there. Come a little bit more.
Sorry?
I'm coming over a little bit more.
I got a little more. You happy with this, yes?
Yeah, I think I have the right club.
Yes. I'm happy you do. Three-quarter one, yeah? Yes.
Well, I'm being told this is a 5-iron, which seems like a lot of club.
Well, we heard Ronan just say 3/4 one, so he's not trying to hit it full, Raj, but a lot of guys have been hitting 6-irons, that's for sure.
You gotta believe he's got a lot of adrenaline in his veins.
I was going to say, under pressure, guys, didn't you try to hit the ball hard as opposed to 3/4 shots?
Well, we'll see if he can pull it off with a little fade in there.
A lot of mumbling. That's going right. Oh, no.
Wow.
might be Berger time.
I think Daniel Berger just got off of his back over the practice tee, huh? Yeah, he's up. Warming up.
Man, you have got to be kidding me.
Well, the three-quarter shot trying to play a fade, and you could tell, Johnny, the ball just started right of where he needed it to. I mean, and it has a big cut to it.
I think he was trying to hit a little squeeze cut, but not a push cut. That is brutal right there.
He knew it right away.
And even on this calmest of calm days that we've seen in the Bear Trap in years, that's what can happen.
We can see the look on his face. It just crestfallen. You know, it would have been such a sweet win for him. He's not out of it totally, but he's got to get it up and in for a bogey.
First time he's hit the ball in the water. I think Daniel Berger just got a text from somebody.
Maybe Dad.
Yeah.
In Scotland.
You talk about an upset win. If he were to win,
it would match the second largest comeback in PGA Tour history, Johnny. Stuart Sink at the 2004 Heritage was also 9 off the lead heading in to the final round.
This game will rip your heart out sometimes. He's got to gird his loins, so to speak, and make a tough par, a bogey.
So you're happy, go ahead and swing.
Coulter ready to play.
He's got to finish birdie eagle.
Good start. It's in their hole high, about 18 feet away, and Patrick Reed still there. Needs to finish birdie to get to 6 under.
The guy's right between clubs, Gary.
I think so, John, and I think this is just what Jack Nicklaus had in mind when he designed this hole. Get these guys thinking. Get tour players thinking, and oftentimes they overthink. And virtually no wind whatsoever. And these guys are struggling mightily.
He's got to be thinking a little about 15 when he let it out to the right in the water.
Going with the 5-iron here, so going to the lower club and trying to play that draw, which he is playing. It's going left of the hole, though.
Up at 18.
And Russell Knox to get to 5 under, just one back of Berger with a clubhouse lead at 6 under. Well done for Russell Knox, who has another great tournament week at the Honda Classic.
He loves this Champions course.
High finish in the offing for Russell Knox, currently in a tie for 3rd with Paul Casey. As Berger continues to warm up, stay focused.
Dan, that's his instructor, Jeff Leishman, that he has worked with for some time. Professional here in the area. Also works with Will McKenzie and a couple other tour players. So now they go to the drop circle, Raj, in the drop zone. Shot of approximately 120 yards or so.
Yeah, 121 we have it as. You just wonder how he can get refocused after something like that. I mean, that's just, you know, you just have to question yourself as a player, you know, where you go, what were you thinking? How could you do that? You know, but yet you have to rebound, have to get in the moment, and have to play your next shot. It's tough.
It's only 1-0. It's only 108. Carry it up. Make it fast. Oh. Do you want me to go another bit up? Let's go. If you can get another yard. I can walk another yard. Yeah, drop right here. Just thinking, just with that bit of breeze. Poachers did seem to get hit with a little bit of breeze going in there, didn't it? Yeah. What do you think? I'm happy with 3/4 wedge from 180. Okay. It's called,
yes, it's called, yeah.
Well, he's calling for an official. I can't imagine what the issue is.
I can't either. It's just a drop zone.
I mean, I guess, could you be asking if they're playing, since they're playing lift clean in place, that this would be considered
through the green?
Can I place in here?
Or
that's what he's asking.
Actually.
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
Yeah. In play, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got it.
All right, so that's PGA Tour rules official Dillard Pruitt, who's telling Padraig that he is entitled to place the ball since they're playing lift clean in place.
Yeah, 3/4 wedge. Yeah.
Much shorter shot, Raj, but you still have to be very precise.
Yeah, it's not so much from this distance, wide, right or left. You're worried about short or long. Neither one of which is particularly good. Certainly short is no good.
Gives himself a chance to make bogey. It's going to be a putt of some 20 feet or more. And Padraig Harrington trying to hang on at this Honda Classic. Right now, it's Daniel Berger that's looking good at 6 under.
Daniel Berger over there, as we mentioned, has plenty of support, family and friends, getting a hug from his mother, Nadia, as he is wondering if he is going to be a PGA Tour winner outright after these final groups get in, or if he will be a part of a playoff.
And that's Patrick Reed's second at 17, so he's going to make a par most likely. Looks like he'll need to eagle the 18th, reach that 6 under number.
Got a great short game, doesn't he?
He's got a lot of shots, John, no question. Good touch around the green, good putter.
I think Patrick's missing a little cut or a straight ball on occasion. He plays nothing but hooks, and sometimes these bear trap holes are designed by Jack, who saw everything in those days with a cut. All the greens sit left or right. It's tough to hit that hook into that angle. But that's a tiny critique of him because he's awfully good.
Well, Mark Rolfing, you've been around young Daniel Berger this week.
I have, and quite an impressive player, but it's been interesting what he's been doing over here on the range. Not bashful at all about knowing exactly what's going on. I talked to his instructor, Jeff Leishman, and he was over there hitting 20 and 30-yard pitch shots, and I said, are those shots that maybe he would expect to have to play in a playoff? And he said, no, basically all I'm trying to do right now is distract him. Anything that'll distract him. So they started playing a little game, and I think he'll do the same thing right here.
Munching on a banana, trying to stay loose. Back over to 17.
Ian Poulter, chance to reach 4 under. And does. So an eagle at 18 moves him to 6 under. I just don't know if he'll have the firepower to reach.
That would be an appropriate ending to Poulter's day, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Eagle the last and tie Berger at 6 under. And that would just end the final round again. He'd be playing on. Depending on what happens with Harrington here. Remember, Harrington still has the par 5 left. So he could even double this hole, drop to 5 under, and birdie 18 and still be at that 6 under number.
Gary was crazy last year with the 4-man playoff, and might be even crazier today.
You know, even with what happened last year, it doesn't even begin to match the process of watching these final rounds over the last couple days. Look at that feed of putts made for Harrington. You don't have to be an accountant to know that that's impressive.
Sometimes in this game you think too much, though, Roger and Gary.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes I never have understood how you can read a putt from a book. You know, it's in front of you. It's what your eyes tell you, what experience tells you. You could get very general ideas, I think, from charting, but each putt, you know, you move this putt 6 inches in either direction, it's going to react a little differently. A helicopter now flying by, so that'll slow things up. But you know, see a lot of players do that now. You know, really rely on charts and whatnot, and I just really have not quite understood it.
Firmer to hold the line. So it's going to be a double bogey at best. That will give Daniel Berger the outright lead. Putt for Reed. Stay at 4 under with the par 5 left. Ooh.
Wow.
And that takes Reed out of it.
Really hard to imagine. Made the birdie at 14 to get to 7 under and tie the lead, and has gone double bogey, bogey, bogey since. Johnny, it's amazing as you get older, you just notice so many other things, don't you? I mean, and he talked about that. He says, as I've gotten older, it's harder to maintain the focus, concentration. I mean, those people are a good 75 yards away across the other side of the lake.
Yeah, Gary said that's been one of the biggest problems in how his game has changed. He gets distracted. Ooh.
All right, he's in with a 5, drops him to 5 under par, and he has to birdie the 18th if he's going to tie Daniel Berger.
So you got a 43-year-old who needs a birdie at the par 5 18th to tie a 21-year-old in his 12th PGA Tour event, who lives right here in the area in Jupiter, Florida. So as Harrington makes his way over to the par 5 18th, so just one group left to play the par 5 18th. Harrington needs birdie to get to the 6 under number.
Well, it's a definite birdie hole, no doubt about that. You can play it a couple different ways.
And Poulter needs an eagle to get to that same 6 under number.
Poulter, I don't think he has the firepower to reach in 2. You'd have to do it with the hole out short. Harrington's got a little more distance. Well, maybe Poulter's got some reserve power I don't know about.
You look at Harrington and this climb out of the abyss. He hasn't even had a top 10 on tour since Memphis. That was almost 2 years ago. In the meantime, Berger's been piling up top 10s in his rookie season on the PGA Tour. The tie for 10th in Phoenix. Another tie for 10th at Pebble Beach. Tied for 13th at the Sony in his first year on the PGA Tour. So here we are on the tee at 18, where Poulter needs an eagle.
Yeah, the wind kind of freshening a little bit against the players here. I'm with you, Johnny. It would take 2 super big hits for Poulter to get there.
Let's see if he's got some reserve power.
Like the Ferrari.
In out the left slightly.
Or is it just in?
Actually, just in.
Okay.
Yeah. One's picking up a little bit stronger yet, so he might try to wait this one out just a second.
Settle down.
This group is out of position.
Yeah, this is taking a while, John, but in some ways I don't fault him because with this wind condition now, he cannot get there. So he's trying to let this blow itself out a little bit.
Let's just hit it at the cabin tower. I think.
As hard as he can swing. Good shot.
Still be a long way home from there. As Reed steps in on the heels of a double at 15, bogeys at 16, 17. Played the trap in +4.
He's going to make double legal.
Hitting that hard hook. Solid tee shot here, right to left.
Well out in front of Poulter, as you can see there. All right, Harrington needs a birdie. Eagle would win it for him.
Be really interesting if he can hit a really nice tee shot, because this could go anywhere. It's a good golf swing. Just whether the nerves are frolicking too much.
Last time he was really in contention down the stretch was the 2012 U.S. Open. Tied for 4th at Olympic. Trailed by 1, just like he trails here on the 72nd hole. Made bogey to finish 2 back.
That's not going to hit the fairway.
Too much looping left. That has made birdie an even tougher proposition for Harrington. He needs it to tie Daniel Berger, or Berger will win the Honda Classic. So there's Daniel Berger, who has been waiting for a while. He finished at 9:50 a.m. at 6 under. More than an hour later, he takes the outright lead for the first time all week without hitting a single shot. That is a kind of wacky final round we've seen spread out over the last 2 days here at PGA National. And he could be the guy that rises above all of these stars. You had Mickelson in the hunt, Casey, Harrington, Patrick Reed. All of them, one by one, have kind of gone by the wayside, although Poulter has a chance. Eagle would tie that 6 under number by Berger, and Harrington needs the birdie, but he's made it difficult by finding the bunker off the tee.
I mean, you got to hand it to Berger. I mean, knows he needed a strong finish, and he birdied 17, and then he hits the 2 great shots at 18, and birdies that one for a 64. And so it's all good stuff for him. Super round. It's a very nice day to score. There's no doubt about that. Live clean in place, light winds, perfect greens. You know, the only thing tough was the rough was really thick with that moisture.
So it will be Poulter to play first. Again, needs eagle. It's just incredible that he's even got a chance with 2 doubles, a triple, a bogey, and 5 balls in the water. Look at that card.
Just a chippy 6, just a push 6 down there. Just right radar. You can't actually reach the first
He's
one.
going to have to hole a lengthy third because he's got 301 left to the hole. So this isn't going to get there.
Yeah, he's laying up with like a 5 iron or something, 5 or 6. Got a nice golf swing when it's on.
Can't go very far. You hit 5 on there. 178. So 78, I was playing 49.
Including ties, Johnny, there have been at least 11 lead changes in this final round. Patrick Reed was a part of it. Had the lead outright. Really looked like he was going to be the guy for Berger to dodge until the bear trap snared him.
It took a little luster off all the things we've been glamorizing him by.
Sooner or later, this game has a way of kind of getting the last lap at some point.
Still really good player, obviously. But he needs to go up one more level to get my full approval.
He's got 275 to the hole, Johnny, so he's laying up 2. He had 258 to the front left. Knocked it on the green here in 2 yesterday from just short of 258. Carried that bunker in the right, but just went just a layup.
Good angle for that right hole location. Couldn't have placed it in a better spot.
So Reed officially out of it. Even if he holds out from there for eagle, it would get him to 5 under, 1 short of the number that Berger resides at. So Harrington from the bunker.
249 left to the hole, but no chance to reach the green, so this too is going to be a layup.
Good strike.
Yep,
Very
be
flush.
Fine.
All right, so needs to get it up and down from there to tie Berger. So let's take a look at some of the highlights, the lowlights, as this final round has been kind of all over the place. This was Berger late in the day yesterday with his 3rd at 11. That's how he ended the day, getting it to 4 under with his 5th birdie. So play was suspended because of darkness. And then the tee shot for Berger at 17.
Plays that high cut.
This coming after a string of pars put him in position to get it to 5 under on the last leg of the bear trap.
Hasn't been missing anything inside 10 feet, and that continues right there.
So still it kind of looked like Berger was on the outside looking in until this second shot at 18 absolutely ripped from 245.
Just hit it posing and walking after it.
So he 2-putted for birdie, got to that 6 under number, and again began the wait. And then this is how the leaders, one by one, fell out of the chase. There was the last ball in the water, led to a triple bogey. Ball number 5 in the water. And then Patrick Reed, tee at 15, led to a double as he just struggled his entire way up the bear trap. So then Harrington had a 1-shot lead heading to the 17th hole. Looked like it was his tournament. And then Harrington taking aim from 179 and disaster. That led to a double. put him in the predicament he's in now, needing a birdie, Harrington, to tie Berger. And right now, Poulter needs to hold this from 132 for eagle to get to 6 under. So Poulter's officially out of it, and then there were 2 left with a chance, Harrington and Berger.
He wanted that badly, not that he can expect it, but what a day.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Poulter's got to feel like he should have won this golf tournament. He has to.
Man.
He was at 8 under at one point before the unraveling started. The double at 11 for him. Triple we showed you at 14.
Good angle, Roger.
Yeah, as good as you're going to get. 112. And I got to say, Johnny, with the disappointments of the last 3 holes, he still goes about his business in a super confident fashion.
I mean, he could have shot 78 today. I mean, it was just all over the place off the tee.
So Reed, this is how he will go into his defense at Doral WGC Cadillac Championship. Not the way he wanted to take the road trip down south to Miami, and now it's come down to Harrington.
Just a normal halfway to hold. Let drift in a bit. Yeah. You happy?
That's just a sandwich, I would think, Roger.
Yeah, 107.
Up and down gets him in a playoff.
I mean, he just teed the ball up, and it's just all about. It's really can't get an easier shot in some ways, and just whether he can pull it off. That's all.
So that'll be the putt that will either give Harrington a chance for his first PGA Tour win in 7 years, or will give Daniel Berger the title at the age of 21. So Harrington, in this trek back to near the top of the PGA Tour world, has been a journey that is hard to describe. But I think succinctly put, could it be that we could see 2 guys that were 297th in the world to begin the week, 2 weeks in a row on the PGA Tour, win? James Hahn last week at Riviera, the Northern Trust, had that 297 spot exactly in the position that Padraig Harrington has plummeted to after we mentioned being as high as number 3 in the world in 2009. I guess it's appropriate to throw up something like that on a week in a final round where you just can't imagine it turning out the way it's turned out.
It's been very entertaining, I know that, and a lot of guys had a chance.
Well, I just texted Jim Courier, who is the U.S. Davis Cup captain. He's over in Scotland, and I asked him, is Jay Berger near you? He says he's sitting right next to me. And I said, how is he feeling right now? He says the heart rate is up, and they are keeping track of this Honda Classic through another guy's phone who they are FaceTiming with, who's got his phone on Golf Channel. And that is how they are getting the news and the updates on how Daniel Berger is doing and how the rest of the field is from Scotland.
Real time, huh?
Yep. Technology can be a wonderful thing, especially if your dad 4,200 miles away in Scotland, wishing you were here, but his obligations with the Davis Cup team has him in Scotland as his son is on the cusp of winning in his 12th PGA Tour event.
Well, he only has to dodge one bullet, Roger. That's Padraig Harrington Berger.
By the way, Berger's the 173rd ranked player in the world. But he's just getting his career started.
We're making names out of no names.
Johnny, look where Padraig is. He's clear on the other side of the bunker in front of the green, trying to get down low to read his putt from the side.
He's got so much energy right now.
Oh, man.
This putt doesn't do much the first bit, Roger, but it'll move a titch right at the second.
I would think Padraig would be paying close attention. A little different line, but it's got to give him some idea what's going to happen around the hole.
There's that little bit of right, which I guess either pushed it or didn't see.
So a disappointing finish for a guy that's been nothing but clutch in the early portions of his PGA Tour career. +4 to the bear trap, settles for the par at 18, 73 for Reed, 3 under, 3 back at Berger.
Final round scoring average is the lowest of the week, counting yesterday and today at 70.5. But this final threesome is a combined 9 over. So that's one reason why they've played slowly. A lot of balls in the water.
And now the last meticulous read by Harrington, which could force a playoff.
What's your feelings there, Roger?
And Johnny, I think this putt at a dying speed may go a little right at the hole, but if it has much pace, if you hit it a little too far, hard and off the hole on the left, I don't think it'll come back. I don't think this is an easy putt. I really don't.
It's 15 feet, and he's good at this distance.
That is his 5th birdie on the second 9 of the final round, pieced together in 2 days. Got the ball all marked up, looks like a soccer ball rolling in, and Harrington is alive for his first PGA Tour win in 7 years. Big crowd here assembled on a Monday. Lights up the PGA National Gallery, and Harrington lives for at least another hole.
That was exciting, Roger. Wow.
I really didn't think he was going to make it, John. I really didn't. I thought it was a tough read and it would have been an easy one to miss left. Great putt.
You got to give it to him. He made a good stroke and a good read. And Poulter, who is makes his for 74.
Sink the last one. Poulter has bounced back time and time again after disasters here. So after all that carnage by Poulter, he ends up birdieing the last 2 and is just 1 short of the playoff, if you can believe that.
5 balls in the water and he loses by 1.
Can't believe much of anything that's happened on this final round. What we do know is that Padraig Harrington at age 43 has got himself in a sudden death playoff. They'll start at the 18th, go to 17, back to 18 if necessary. One more look at the Harrington birdie that got him into the playoff. 10 years ago, he won this tournament for the first of his PGA Tour wins in 2005. Can he do it again? Well, if the second leg of our Florida swing is half as entertaining as this been, the Trumpster's in for a treat when the tour heads down. Top 50 players in the world to his place at Trump National Doral. It's where Patrick Reed rose to the occasion with another one of his 4 victories. Called himself a top 5 player in the world. Well, he just stumbled down the stretch here at the Honda, but we look forward to another WGC down at Doral with Donald Trump and all the great work they've done down at the Blue Monster. Gil Hance had our first look at it last year, and certainly is an entertaining place, as that is the next stop on our NBC Golf Florida swing. And now you've got Harrington and Berger being driven out to the tee at 18 to begin this playoff. It's the 8th playoff in Honda Classic history, and again for the second week in a row, a tour playoff at the 6 under number. So let's try to even add some more perspective to what we've seen. Harrington and Berger emerge as the playoff duo. Poulter man, who had the 54-hole lead. 74 for him, just one off the playoffs number at 600. Paul Casey was right there as well. Russell Knox had a strong finish. He was a part of the 4-man playoff, just outside of it this year. Jim Herman, the first-round leader, 69, solid top 10 finish for him. Luke Donald trying to regain his winning ways as well. Another good one for him. And Phil Mickelson tied for 17th after starting the round at tied for 5th.
We're going to play 18, 17, 18. Okay?
So, as we mentioned, Johnny, it has been a while since Berger's been on the course.
You're going to pick first, and we'll go in that order. Steve got the numbers. 2. Okay. 100, you're up. Check your clubs, guys. All set? Ball. Okay, we're going to play 18, 17, 18. Okay?
Again, they'll head back to 17 if it's not decided here at 18. And Harrington will have the honor. 22 years the senior of his competitor.
Well, both players, a win would do a lot for their careers. So for Padraig to make that birdie on the last hole had to be good for his confidence in future tournaments.
In December, Harrington did win the Indonesia Open on the Asian Tour, his first worldwide win in some 5 years. He said 5 tournaments ago I won, so it's not like it's totally alien, as he used in his words.
Needs to play down the right side. A little draw. Looked like he hit a pretty good one.
Up the right. I don't think he got it all.
Yeah, he's not happy with it, but
I think it's a layup hole for him
in the fairway.
I don't know how much that wind has freshened, Roger.
Well, Berger can bust it.
Go with the marker? Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe serving up a little burger with extra cheese here.
It's going from burgers to filet mignon in a minute, maybe. Right at that bunker in the distance with it just straight or a baby cut for him. That's his shot, and just rip it out there.
And this one is right down the center, dead into the teeth of the wind. Going to play very long right now.
I think I'm not sure he can reach from there.
All right, while we have a moment, let's head down to Steve Sands.
Dan, thank you. We are with Ian Poult. You had chances to win this one. Where do you think you got away from you a little bit there on the back 9, Ian?
It's a number of shots over. It's not just the back 9. When I look at the front 9, when I look at the soft shot, I was trying to hit the 8-iron. Yesterday was a soft shot, and I've shanked it. I've tried to hit an easy tee shot off the next and pulled it. Every time I went to hit a soft shot, which is something I'm working on right now, if I hit a soft shot, the tendency is I've got a chance of pushing it. I perhaps should have stood up and maybe hit a harder shot. I hit the soft 7 into 11, make double. Hit a lovely shot into 13, hits the stick, which was a shame. I mean, if it misses the stick, it's pretty stiff, to be honest. And then I'm swinging a soft driver off the next, straight right, in trouble. So 3 soft shots have got me in a lot of trouble this week, and I guess it's back to the drawing board and keep working on those weaknesses that I have, and that's one of the weaknesses. The good's good. The good's good enough to win. I know that. I've known that for a long time. It's just bitterly disappointing to put myself in the position I have to play as well as I've played. Greens in reg number was good. Proximity to the hole number was great. I was rolling a few putts in. My short game was on, and a couple of loose shots right there has cost me this tournament. And it's a shame to hand tournaments away. I mean, you don't mind being beaten fair and square. And good luck to the boys that are out there in the playoff. But I've handed one away this week, and it's going to hurt because making making triples and doubles just doesn't get it done, and it's a shame. I shouldn't do that. I mean, I don't make a bogey in round 3, and it's pretty flawless, and then 3 soft shots have cost me.
We appreciate the time as always. Thanks, Ian.
Absolute pleasure, Steve.
Dan, Johnny, back to you guys.
Pretty classy of Poulter to give that detailed assessment when you know he's going through some bitter disappointment, but that pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players would be in the car right now, so yeah, I hand it to him for facing it like a man.
He'll be in the Ferrari in about 2 minutes.
That might soften the blow.
Yeah.
Johnny, let's take another look at Daniel Berger's swing here. You talked about how high the hands are, and it's in a shut position. Look where his eyes are looking as he makes contact with the ball. It's amazing. You know, these young guys, they tend to rotate the upper body through, and oftentimes the head goes with it, not even looking at the ball when they make contact.
Yeah, it's a big golf swing.
Yeah, very strong. Creates a lot of speed.
So Harrington is away. First to hit his second here at 18.
Yeah, and has 296 yards into this breeze. There's no way, so it's a layup down the left and try to get an angle for his third like he did last time around.
Okay, from there. So we got 275. 165. 165. Yes. Okay. For the bunker as well?
Bunker is going to be 185.
You have to look at that with it. 165, 180. It's 270 less time.
What 275?
You're adding 5 on it.
Oh, yeah, 277 minus 2. Okay. 275 front, yeah.
So that's 185.
Yes.
And the right hand side is what?
Right hand side is going to be 165. That's now right. Like we've got another few yards down inside that stake.
And the right, I think 3/4. Yes. Right is one. Sorry, the left is 185.
Yes.
Are you happy with this, or are you thinking 3/4? No, 165. 1/7. 8,000.
I mean, this is for a layup, folks. This isn't like trying to get it to the 15th hole in a blazing wind. This is a layup with a lot of room.
And this will be fine in the center of the fairway.
Yeah, the biggest grind layup in history, huh? But he's right in a good position. So now, young Berger, Raj. Excuse me, Mark with the 21-year-old.
This one is a layup also. He was about 5 yards short of being able to go for it.
So both in the narrow fairway opening, with some short thirds coming up to maybe decide the Honda Classic. Look up to the green at the par 5 18th, which faces Harrington and Berger now with their thirds. By the way, the update on Daniel's father, the USTA director who's in Scotland at the Davis Cup matches with U.S. captain Jim Courier. They just told me they're on the team bus going to practice now. Now they're down to text updates as they're on their way to the arena. But again, his mom Nadia is here along with a big contingent of family and friends. Those friends, a lot of them played junior golf with Berger, some collegiately at Florida State. So he's got great support here that could witness him with this incredible comeback. From 9 back going into the final round.
As far as the mindset of Daniel Berger, you know, he played early. He was a chaser. The hole's a little bigger. Then all of a sudden, holy mackerel, I'm in a playoff. I've never been in one on the PGA Tour, so there's a lot of pressure on him. New ground.
I like the fact that he's hitting first, though. If you're Daniel Berger, Johnny, I would like to play this shot ahead of Harrington.
It's slightly in.
They are almost the same exact distance.
Well, let's see who's got the nerve. Old versus new. Yards. I don't know if he loves it. Pretty good. That's a straight putt from there. That's an easy putt. It's right down the fall line.
Mom likes it. After he bogeyed the 14th hole yesterday in the third round, he was 11 shots back. Now Harrington.
Well, as Mark said, they both had the same yardage. 125 again. Now this left of the hole looks a little deep as well.
Well outside of Berger, but still makeable, but Harrington disappointed.
He had that ball so far forward in his stance, he pulled it before he hit it.
So the young 21-year-old Daniel Berger trying to join this list, make their first career victory, the Honda Classic since 2000. You look at the winners that did so, and Padraig Harrington is on that list. It was his very first PGA Tour win back in 2005. When the tournament was played across the street at Mirasol. But if Berger can pull this off at 21, he'd be the youngest winner in the 43-year history of this tournament. Rory McIlroy was 22 years old back in 2012 when he won. He currently has the record for that. So Berger in his 12th PGA Tour event.
Man, I got raucous gallery right here.
And the hometown crowd is cheering on Berger.
Let's go Berger, they're saying. That's pretty cool. It's like a Ryder Cup finish.
Can you imagine being the mother here trying to hold off the emotions? And you know, it's a great win wherever. Coming back from 9, that's incredible enough as it is. But to do it right here at home with everybody here has just got to be dreamlike.
Absolutely. And, you know, he's going to get the last putt at it. Daniel is, but I'm not sure Padraig can make this one. But we might be going more holes, Roger and Mark. We'll see. Neither one of them hit what I'd call a terrific third, but not bad. Roger, you're right there.
Well, this putt of Padraig's a little deeper into the green than his putt was originally. He's going to be coming more downhill. It may try to leak just a little right at the hole, but I just don't see a whole lot in it, Johnny.
No, there isn't. Both of them have got. There isn't a lot of break on either one of them.
If I were Berger, I would pay a lot of attention to Padraig's putt. They are very similar.
It's going to be interesting to see where Berger positions himself, Roger.
Well, he probably knows his green better than anybody in the whole tournament. Probably played a lot of practice rounds here.
Yeah, he grew up, Berger did, playing the Dye Preserve course in Jupiter, and he did so with a lot of PGA Tour players. Will McKenzie and Steve Marino, to name just a couple. Okay, Harrington for birdie.
Can he make another long one like he did earlier in the day?
Good putt.
Really straight.
But that will open up the door for Daniel Berger. Dreamlike setting.
Mark, what's the feeling for you there?
You know, I have a pretty good feeling he's going to make it, Johnny. He saw the exact line. He got in right behind the putt after Harrington hit it. he didn't show me any sign of nerves at all coming down the stretch, playing those last 4 or 5 holes in regulation.
But it's a whole nother level when you know that if this putt goes down, you are the champion.
What's the length of this, Mark? About?
It's probably 15 feet, but I like it because it turns in the direction that his normal shot shape is, left to right.
Told his dad when he was 11 years old, this is 13 feet 7 inches, that he wanted to be a professional golfer, not tennis player. By a little ways.
That putt does not break right. It is straight as can be.
Mom watching the potential winner. A little left coming back.
Both players misread that putt. It's straight.
So Berger outside of Harrington for par.
And I would think he may be actually a little more nervous on this next putt, Johnny, than he was on the first one.
Could be. There's not much to it, just straight in, but it's a little nervous length. You're right.
He was practicing a lot of these kind of putts while he was waiting the playoff.
There's only one way he can miss this putt. That's nerves.
Stroke. So we're just one putt away from heading to the last leg of the bear trap over at 17 to continue this playoff.
Down the field now, thank you.
So indeed, we are set to head to the par 3 17th, where the memories not too long ago were not good for Padraig Harrington. Remember the ball in the water at 17 for Harrington? Led to a double bogey, which forced him to make birdie to tie Berger. He's headed there again when we come back. 17 looms for this playoff between Harrington and Berger. A tale of 2 17s, the way they played it earlier in this final round. This was Berger. This was the good play through 17. His tee shot. At the time, he was 4 under, and he needed a couple of birdies down the stretch to get to that 6 under number. And he would set himself up with that beautiful clutch tee shot at the 179-yard par 3. And it's enough to just hit it in there, Johnny, but to convert it like he did, to get to 5 under. And then there was Harrington, who was sitting at 7 under at the time.
He had the tournament won, folks. All you had to do is put it on land. Pretty much going to win it.
So a 3-shot difference between the two. Double bogey for Harrington, birdie for Berger. And most under par on the bear trap at the PGA National since 2007. Nobody's done it better than the 21-year-old. 5 under in his first Honda Classic.
And Padraig Harrington didn't do badly on the bear trap either. Dan, he was 1 under, and that included that double bogey that he made at the 17th, 71st hole. So Harrington plays first, and Raj, in this situation, I'd want to hit first. I'd want to put the ball on the green, put the pressure on my opponent.
No doubt about it. You want to hit it somewhere where your opponent can see it. Right?
Yeah.
And you can see it.
It can be interesting to see what club selection he goes with.
Yeah.
It was a 5-iron that he tried to play the soft shot that led to the ball in the water.
Well, we're being told that he's got the 5 again. I'm going to assume this one will start further left.
Hopefully for him. I know they won't hit till they're ready. That's the one thing I'm sure of.
Watch your shadow there. Thank you. My shadow? Yeah. Sorry, great. No problem.
More commotion.
There's some kind of powered vehicle on the other side of the grandstands to his left that is starting and stopping and making quite a little bit of noise. And
yeah, he's going to go again. Yeah.
Someone go on the other side to tell him to stop.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there's a lot of noise going on, Gary.
Yeah, well, you know, in fairness to Padraig, it wasn't quiet. I mean, it was making a bit of racket, so I understand.
I know we got planes going over, you got birds chirping.
Breakfast at the Honda has turned into lunch.
Now there's people moving behind the green.
Okay,
A lot of commotion here.
Come on! There you go. Do it!
Okay, it's a great looking line here if the distance is good.
I guess it is. Best shot we have seen here at 17 in this 4th round. Got it started left that time, Johnny.
Yeah, that was pure.
Beautiful. Little soft cut up against the breeze. What a shot.
Well, this is a more difficult shot for a couple of reasons now for Daniel Berger that he played an hour and a half ago. First of all, the wind is up a little bit, so it's playing longer. And second of all, now he's looking at Harrington's ball sitting up there.
Straight in. Straight in. Flat straight in.
He hit a 7-iron before. This is a 6-iron now.
One thing he knows, Gary, is he got hit a heck of a shot.
Yeah, you might as well go right at it. That's for sure.
Come on, kid!
Well, this one is dangerously out to the right.
Well, Irish eyes are smiling right now, I can tell you.
Well, Johnny, we talked about it, didn't we? It's a lot easier when you're chasing and you're playing well ahead of the leaders, which Berger was doing. It's easy to be freewheeling, and a lot different situation when you're playing man-to-man.
Yes.
And we'll take another look at the 2 shots. And as I mentioned, this was the best shot of the entire 4th round. And watch how softly this ball lands. Little cut spin up into the breeze.
Hardly even bounced.
That one just didn't have a good sound to it, did it, John?
No, I think
it sounded a little heavy.
I think Padraig just unnerved him with that shot. I mean, that's a hit in the gut. You know, when a guy knocks it for inside the leather.
Got 109 and 11, 120.
upwards or forward? Just a little bit too much. Take your time now. Yeah.
Well, Nadia still watching. It's a good shot, but a little late.
Pretty much a done deal.
Almost appropriate, Gary, that you would have kind of a reversal of fortunes on this hole, in this case 17, because the whole week has kind of been like that. Guys like Poulter, who was the poster guy for it all, brilliant at times, would go down the leaderboard, come back up, and then Harrington, just when you thought that maybe that thought of a double bogey would creep into his mind at 17, he stiffs it, and as you talked about, has the best shot of the day of the final round at 17. Funny game. We've seen it from all angles this week, and a guy that examines the game from all angles is going to end up winning it in the most bizarre of ways.
I didn't know I was going to hear some Olays here at Honda.
Well, we're just a pitching wedge away from PGA of America headquarters, which of course runs the Ryder Cup. This guy was a mainstay on all those European Ryder Cup teams all the way until 2010, but his game has fallen off. He has not been a part of the Ryder Cup scene in several years now. But who knows, at the age of 43, if Harrington will get his chance to captain a team again or play on a team again. Who knows?
Almost like a Cinderella story for Padraig. You know, the hard work, the embarrassment, the determination, stick-to-itiveness. And of course, Berger has got such a bright future, but a little unlucky that Padraig made the putt to force the playoff. I mean, it looked like Berger is going to win. I mean, the odds of him winning right now are like 70%.
And here is the putt that forced the playoff. Again, after a double at 17. Again, that bounce back that we talked about earlier that has been the theme to this tournament. And speaking of Europeans, they are a theme on top of the leaderboard right now. 5 Europeans in the top 6. Berger's the only American right now on the top of the leaderboard or near it. And there's that note. Last winner with 2 doubles in the final round, Von Taylor, 11 years ago.
That's got to be
add that to the list of crazies.
I know.
Who could have seen it coming, Dan? Harrington's played 8 events in the 2014-15 season. He's only made 3 cuts, and his best finish was a 56th place tie last week in L.A.
You're saying we play a crazy game, Gary?
Yes, we do.
I don't think there's a crazier one in sports.
No.
Disappointing way to end it for Daniel Berger, but still, he's going to take a lot from this. A lot of FedEx Cup points, a lot of money, a lot of confidence.
Clears the stage for a guy that last won a PGA Tour event 2,395 days ago. 2008 PGA Championship at Oakland Hills when Harrington was in all of his major championship glory. What a trip back it has been.
That's what you want to do. Cozy it up there if it doesn't go in.
Yeah. Appropriate finish, I would say, to another Honda Classic victory for Harrington. 10 years removed from his first. The oldest winner ever at the Honda Classic holds off a guy who is trying to become the youngest winner ever at the Honda.
He has a great smile, Padraig.
The eternal optimist from Dublin, Ireland. as we send it back down to Steve.
All right, Dan, thank you. Padraig, Dan Hicks was just mentioning on the telecast your last victory on the PGA Tour all the way back to the 2008 PGA Championship. What gave you the belief that you would get back into the winner's circle?
You know, I was pretty keen on my own form at different stages, but I wasn't delivering. And, you know, I'd say the last... 2012 I played well. I put it very badly, had the yips, and yeah, it was tough after that, you know. But last week I kind of found something in the mental game, which is what's been going wrong. So, you know, I kind of stuck with that this week. It worked half the time. Sometimes it didn't work, but I'm very happy with it. And you know, the one good thing for me is, like, I won in Indonesia. What about 5 tournaments ago, and I believe it or not, when I get in contention I can hit the shots. So the problem has been actually when I'm, you know, start of the week, middle of the road shots, easy shots, I'm just not hitting them. When I've got tough shots I can hit them. So I wasn't afraid once I got myself, like the last 9 holes I felt like a different person, say, to when I was 9 under par.
You're a 3-time major champion, so you know what it's like to be in incredible form. How would you compare getting to the top of the world versus staying at the top of the world?
You do see some changes. God, even thinking about it, like, there's, you know, you kind of go from the penthouse down to the still pretty nice hotels, but yeah, no, there's no doubt on your way back down it's a lot different. But, you know, hopefully this isn't an isolated win. I hope not. You know, I really do believe in myself. As I said, I think I found that mental edge that I've been lacking the last number of years, and, you know, hopefully I'll be able to stick with that going forward and be consistently contending, because I know if I am contending I can win.
Congratulations, Padraig.
Thank you.
He's going back to the Masters, Mark.
Yes.
He sure is. Well, Daniel Berger, when you have an hour maybe to let this all settle in, how do you believe you look back at this Monday morning?
I mean, I think it was a great learning experience, you know, to be in this position. Never been in it before. I could tell you that putt I had on 18, that was the most nervous I've ever been in my life. But, you know, it's all a learning process, and just get better from it.
When you began the 4th round, 9 shots behind, did you still think you could win this golf tournament?
Well, I mean, I didn't think that anyone was really going to run away with it, but I mean, I really played a great final round, and you know, I did everything I could do to get here, and unfortunately it wasn't my day, but it was an awesome experience.
Congratulations on a terrific round.
Appreciate it.
Dan?
Thanks, Mark. How about the high school class of 2011 starting to have a pretty big impact on the game? Talking about other guys in Berger's class. Spieth, Justin Thomas, Patrick Rogers. The game looks pretty good for the future. Again, it's early in Berger's career, but impressive showing at the Honda Classic in front of his hometown fans. Harrington wins it on the 2nd playoff hole, collects the FedEx Cup points, 500. And now we take a look at the top 10 as Harrington moves into the 21st position, and you can see the changes. Patrick Reed, despite the disappointments, does move up 4 spots into the 7th position, and you can see the other jockeying with Jimmy Walker still on top. Coming up next, Morning Drive. We'll try to wrap things up on this Honda Classic Monday. Be sure to join us Thursday starting at noon Eastern Time for the WGC Cadillac Championship, our 2nd leg on the Florida Swing. For our entire crew, Dan Hicks saying so long from Palm Beach Gardens. Padraig Harrington rises above them all.